Hello and welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? Even though it's not a What the Fuck Am I Reading, it's definitely a January wrap-up. But hey, welcome! So today I'm going to talk to you about all books that I read in January. And the thing is, I went a little crazy in January. So I was sick for about a week. Didn't even go to work. So I decided to read a little bit. And you'll see next what I decided to read. But I think I might have a problem now. I even have a sweatshirt about that theme, but it's washing day, so it's not here. But yeah, let's just get started. This is going to be a long one since I think I read almost 25 or 27 books in January. So by some, this will be considered cheating, but I read a shit ton of graphic novels and manga this month. I started the month by finishing 4 volumes of Blood on the Tracks. Definitely on track with the series. That was so painful to say. But I've been really enjoying this. It is very disturbing. Very disturbing. Now we're touching on some themes about sexuality. And it's kind of gross. Like, oh, not the theme on itself, but the way it is portrayed here. It's like a lot. Like a lot. If you have never heard me talk about this series, it's basically about a child and his mom is fucking crazy. And she's obsessed with him and trying to isolate him and trying to kill him almost. It's a lot. It's a lot. I highly recommend it, honestly, if you have a stomach for it, because it's hard. It's hard. I had to restrain myself because I'm on not a book buying ban, but I'm on a no expenses type of ban. So I've been getting one every 2 weeks, but this I got for Christmas, basically. A lot. I gave this one between 4 and 5 stars, depending on the tone, basically, but some of these are incredible. Every single time that I've read these, I was just wanting more. I need to catch up with this series. It's just so intriguing. Then I read another graphic novel. This is Killadelphia. And I decided to read this because after a visit to the bookshop, I discovered that this was actually translated. And I was just like, oh my god, has this always sounded so good? Like, I was just like, this description is everything. And then I was just like, okay, it's fucking Killadelphia. I already own this on Kindle. So I decided to give it a try. And I was not convinced. Honestly, I liked it. But at the same time, I was just like, fine. I didn't like the narration at all. Like, vampires. It's basically a book about a cop and his dad. His dad gets murdered and then is resurrected a vampire. And they are trying to take this vampire load out, basically. And it didn't grab my attention at all. I read it and I was just like, okay, this is fine. And I never read another volume, even though I had them all on Script/Everand. I still have it and I don't think I'll continue, honestly. But it was okay. I gave it 3 stars, basically. Then I read Rubicon. And this is a sci-fi novel. And now that I think about it, it's a little bit... Well, it's not really, but it's basically about these soldiers fighting these robots, basically, these automatons, and you're going to follow this soldier from the front lines, and basically every time that they die, their consciousness is just like brought back and imprinted on a new body. And now they have found something different, and she's recruited to go on this special mission. Let's just leave it at that. Really like the story overall, but it was very... I wouldn't say easy to guess, but kind of predictable, honestly. You could tell who the evil dude was from the beginning, like, it's very, like, obvious. But I like the story in general. It's a story that you can enjoy, like, more of a popcorn type of read, popcorny. But it was fine. I gave it like 3.5, nothing mind-blowing. But it was fine, honestly. I do have to say that I had like high expectations for it, and maybe that played a part on me not enjoying it as much. But in general, it was fine. Then I read Night Fever, and this was definitely a night fever in general. I was gifted this for Christmas also, and it's a little bit confusing. It's basically about a dude. I thought it had like magic or something. It didn't. It was more like mystery focus, and it's basically about a dude. He is a little bit. He feels like he has a very still life. Like he used to party a lot, and now he's just like he laid down basically with his wife, and he goes through this work trip and he meets this dude, and this dude takes him to basically to commit robberies and such, and he's just like, oh my god, I feel so young. It's very violent, also very gory. I really liked it. It's very dark. As my brother-in-law said, I saw that it was very dark and I grabbed it. I was like, great choice. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I feel like it's a standalone also. Not bad. I give it 3 stars. I feel like I'm a bit more judgy this year. But yeah, in general I like it, but I didn't love it. I don't want to spoil the ending, honestly. It has like a little bit of a twist. And continuing with the graphic novels, I read Night Eaters. I got this for myself, honestly, and I got it because it's just beautiful. I talked about this maybe on my TBR, I'm not sure, but it's by the same authors as Monstrous, the same writer and designer. No, how's it called? I completely forgot the word right now, but it's by the 2 of them, and the art in here is absolutely beautiful. This book is beautiful, but it's weird. It's very weird. I don't think I ever even got the story. For a bit I even thought it was a standalone, but it is not. It is not. And I do have to say that I'm more intrigued about the story of the parents than the kids. Basically, they live all together, and in the house across the street, something really weird is going on. So the mother, who is definitely a little bit on the weirder side, throws their children in there, and they have to fight for their lives, basically. And they made some huge discoveries. It's really cool, but very weird at the same time. I feel like all of these other first tomes are just completely just like utter nonsense. So I have like still high hopes for this series, but I liked it in general. I gave it 4 stars. Still be careful. It's confusing. So then I was really excited and I read Hideout. I love horror manga and horror graphic novels. It's my thing. It's just I don't consume horror well on a novel style. I don't know why. I don't know, but I much prefer graphic novels. There's something about them that I just, I love it. So I read this one. This is a manga standalone, and it's basically about a couple, and they are on a trip until they get lost in the middle of the jungle, basically, and the husband tries to kill the wife because of their deceased son. They stumble across a secret kind of bunker with something in it. Bizarre. I will have to say that even though I like the story, it was extremely predictable from page 1, basically. But it was an enjoyable ride. I read it in a sitting with my lights dim, so I kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, I give it like 3.5 stars. Then I read Edge of the Woods, finally, by Andrew Rowe. This is his new series, basically. And I don't have to say that I read this, but I read his blog the other day, and he's going to be focusing on Arcane Ascension from now on. And I'm kind of excited, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I really like this, I miss Arcane Ascension so bad. So bad. I really want to read it again. And I feel like I will read them again soon. But Edge of the Woods. Honestly, this felt like a Kelsier, not Kelsier, oh my god, a Kara's. A Kara's backstory, origin story, for some reason, but I really liked it. This has all of Andrew Rowe's style all over it. All over it. So if you like his previous works, you're going to like this, basically. It's also kind of a progression fantasy too. But we will follow Edge, and he woke up in this forest with no memory. We also have like interludes where he's talking to the scribe and he's telling his story. It's just really cool, honestly. And if you like deep magic and such, this one has it too. So overall, it was a very enjoyable story. I like every single Andrew Rowe book. So yeah, the characters were great in this one. We also have like a martial school, sword school type of setting. It was really cool, honestly. I do have to say that like it's more of a slow burn type of book, but honestly, I feel like the Arcane Ascension series is also very slow burn. So I don't really get the complaints about this book, but in general, I really liked it. I was so surprised by how much I liked it because I wasn't feeling like reading something like happy at the time. And I was just like, okay, I want to know more. And I really liked the scribe part of things, like the interludes. They were great. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I gave it 4 stars, even like 4.5, honestly. It was really extremely enjoyable. Then I wanted like something a little bit darker, and I read Perditions Flame, which, well, I listened to it because it's an audiobook drama, Warhammer audiobook drama, and it's basically set on a spaceship, and we have this man who has betrayed his legion. Basically, they pick him up, and he is kind of hearing weird things in the ship. Everything goes downhill from there. I don't want to spoil anything. It's a short, very short story, like definitely a novella, but on the shorter side. So something on the lines of The Watcher in the Rain, which I loved last year. It's one of my favorite books, honestly. It's just so good. But I wanted something similar, and I thought that this was kind of a related to it. It is not, but I really liked it overall. I gave this one 4 stars. It wasn't the best. It's not as good as the other one, but it was really cool, honestly, and I needed it. I needed it at the time. Then I reread The Will of the Many by James Islington. This book is so good. This was my favorite book from last year, the best book that I read last year, basically. And it's still so fucking good. I get more things now that I've read it completely, rereading it, than on the first time, but still, man. This is just fantastic in so many levels. The magic system is incredible. The political part of aspect of it is amazing. The school is fucking great. The main character is also incredible. There is death, there's heartbreak, and there's so much mystery in this series. I'm dying to get book 2. Honestly, the moment I can get an arc of it, I'm going to annoy absolutely everyone to get one because it's just that fucking good. Of course, I give it 5 stars. One of the best books that I've read. One of my favorite books of all time. Right now, it's just incredible. But in here, we're basically going to follow Biz. He is an orphan. The hierarchy, which is the empire that rules this part of the land, basically murdered his family, and now he's been forced to hide, basically. But he gets adopted by one of the heads of this hierarchy, so he can infiltrate the school and find out what happened to his brother. And he decides to go because this is a great chance to actually get like a good pose and disappear. And man, this is just the fucking beginning. It's amazing. I cannot recommend this one enough. If you get a book out of this whole video, this is so good. So then I read Buzzards Bowl by John Palladino, yes. This is the sequel to holy shit. Ashmount, The Trials of Ashmount. Jesus. And I do have to say that I feel like I liked The Trials of Ashmount more than this one, but this expanded the world more, which was also great. But I feel like we ended in kind of not where we started, but everything just like came together. So I feel like some characters didn't get that much like way. I don't know. It's very hard to explain. I have to do a written review for it. But still, in general, I really liked it, though I missed the part of the magical school. I'm not gonna lie. There's something that happens on the end of book 1, and now we cannot follow that story here. And I do have to say that my favorite character, I feel like, is Demery. Even though he's definitely a piece of shit. But he reminds me a lot of Glokta. Yeah, that's right. On the First Law. probably because of bad things. But I feel like they are similar in a way, and I like him a lot, honestly. I cannot lie. We had some new POVs in here that I actually really like, and I was a little bit about the ending. But in general, I liked it. I will do a full review for it. I will highly recommend this series. It's a grim dark fantasy following a bunch of characters, and honestly, it's really cool. I highly recommend it. It's one of those few series that is actually grimdark and it's not afraid of doing like very questionable things, so I highly recommend it. I gave it like I think 4 stars. Yes, I did. So then I read All of Us Villains. I read this one on a whim. I got the audiobook basically, and I was pleasantly surprised by the first book. I think I had a similar feeling about this one as of with One Dark Window, that I really liked book 1 and I immediately followed with the sequel basically. And I liked it. It's basically about this dark town where I feel like it was 10 or 20 years, this blood moon rises and these heirs to these families have to fight one another for the right of use of high magic, basically. Cool. It was cool. Very like YA, but still, the premise was really cool. I really like how the story wasn't just like, oh yeah, this is the Hunger Games, but a little bit smaller. It has more than it. It has more for it. So I really like that. But it has that type of feel where everyone has to be paired up with someone else, which I don't like. But in general, I actually quite enjoyed it. I don't have many complaints about it. It felt a little bit young, but it's a target audience, so I cannot complain about that. But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. I really like Alistair because he's the emo boy of the group. What can I say? But honestly, in general, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I read this, The Killer Inside, which I DNF'd after 50 pages. I tried to read the whole tome, but it was just disgusting. It has... Let me just show you how it starts. And I should have known better that if this started like this, it was going to be a fucking mess. And it actually was. So I DNF'd it. I will not be picking it up again. I will actually get rid of my copy and I will not read this series. Which makes me mad because the main plot is basically about a dude who feels like kind of being possessed by a killer. And he's up there killing people. And he does not remember. Really cool. Extremely pornographic in a way, and I just don't like that. I don't like being shoved boobs at my face and girls' asses at my face all the time while reading some fucking manga. I hate that. I hate that on manga and on anime. I'm very picky with what I read and watch because that fucking trope gets me fucking mad every single time. So yeah, moving on. So here it came. So I went through a phase on January. Let me explain. I'm a huge fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm a huge fan of the anime, and I had only read like 2 volumes of the manga because I was more of a fan of the anime, and that was it. So I finished season 2 a little bit later on because after all that emotional suffering, I wasn't ready to finish it. And I did. And then I was just like, fucking hell, what happened? And I didn't get the ending fully, the moral of like the epilogue. So I decided to ask my friend who has read the whole manga. And he was just like, oh shit, yeah, you will get that when you continue reading. And I had to read it. I had to. So this happened the moment when I got sick. So basically, in 2 days, I read from volume 15, I think it is, where the season ends. Yeah, from volume 15 till what is being released today, which is not even in a volume. I think it's chapter 249 this week. It's a problem. I even got a Schutzer because I'm never letting this go. I'm a huge believer. I might be deceiving myself with this. If you have read it, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm a believer. and I became obsessed with this, basically. So I also rewatched like the anime a lot. And I became obsessed with all of these conspiracies. My TikTok was just filled with Jujutsu Kaisen for like a week. And it was great, honestly. Some of these volumes I gave 4 stars and some of these volumes I gave 5 stars. But overall, it was fucking fantastic. As the rest of it was. It's great. I'm coping a bit. But it's fucking great, okay? Just, if you get very emotionally attached to characters, maybe this series is not for you. It has like a very high death rate. Something like Attack on Titan. Something very related. But yeah, it was fucking phenomenal, dude. And I enjoyed every single minute of it. It was great. It was great. But yeah, this is where my huge reading number comes into play. Last month. I went fucking insane, honestly. Like, I think one of the days I started reading at like 4 p.m. and I finished like 1 a.m. or something like that, or 2 a.m. I was just like reading on my iPad, like, okay, so what now? It was rough. It was rough. So while this was happening, I was listening to an audiobook. I started reading physically this beauty of a book, Nigromante. It's beautiful, I know. It's fucking beautiful. It has 3D art on the cover. This was so bad. I started reading it physically and then I switched to an audiobook because I was just like, if I keep giving this my attention, I'm going to fucking go to fucking Santiago again and I'm going to return this book. And that's it. It was fucking terrible, honestly. I gave it 2 stars. It was so fucking stupid. I know this author doesn't usually write this way, but this was extremely misogynistic and sexist book. Extremely so. Like, on the first fucking pages, it was something like, they referred to women as females. Just right off the bat. Right off the bat. And it was just like, oh my god, I miss my female so bad. What the fuck? I need to do like, this is going to be the worst book that I read this month. Not this month, this year, probably. But the thing is set on this village and it's a very like medieval like village with medieval beliefs and barbaric beliefs even. But basically women do not partake in any activity in this little town except for raising children, and their opinions are not valued by any of the men. So every time they need to do like a reunion of people of the town, it only involves men. And obviously they are fucking stupid because once they see that maybe monsters are coming out of the woods, what is the best idea? Oh my god, let's just get a group of guys and just go to see this witch. They're fucking stupid. Every single one of these dudes are fucking stupid. And it has this huge revelation at the end when it's just like, oh my god, maybe women are just equal to men. And to get to that point, you will suffer through endless sexism in every single fucking page. In every page. Why? Why is that a choice? Like, you can have a misogynistic society and it does not have to be reflected on every single page of the book. Even if you want to be just like, yes, you see, women are just as worthy as men. You do not need to put me through that fucking suffering throughout the whole book. I threw that book away. Wait. You're the guilty one. You don't have to put me through that at all. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. Literally, I read 40 pages of it and I was just like, I'm DNFing this fucking shit. But I had hope. I had hope. I was just like, maybe it's just like these fucking idiots. It's okay. And the story is not bad. Not revolutionary, but it's not bad. But holy shit. So fucking annoying. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of those people who it has to be very evident for me to actually see it on page, because I'm on my fucking mind and I do not pay attention most of the time. But it has to be very evident for me to actually be fucking mad. And it was so annoying. I was just bombarding my fucking boyfriend with just like, are you seeing this? It's just me? What the fuck? And it actually was a what the fuck. Like, I know this author does not write shit like this because I've already read his other books and they didn't have that problem with it, but holy fuck. Holy fuck. This is a standalone, and well, it's not a standalone, it's a standalone book on an interconnected series, and I've seen that book 2 does not have those problems, so I don't know if I'm going to read it, but this was so not worth it. I literally put it on like 3 times speed, and I was just like, I need this to be over. I fucking need this to be over. So not worth it. I wish I had DNF'd it, but it was so fucking expensive, you know? So yeah, after that, I needed like something lighter, and I read All of Our Demise, which is the continuation to All of Us Villains. And I didn't love this one. I thought it was fine, but I didn't like it as much as book 1. And it's why, for me, is very similar to like One Dark Window, which is a duology, kind of dark, and you know, everything ends up like very like cookie cutter for all the characters. That's not bad, but this is a tournament, a death tournament. So I don't know, but everyone ends up just like with someone, and I just do not enjoy that trope, dude. I do not enjoy it, and it's a duology. It takes place, I think, on a month or 2 at most, and every single one of these dudes already has another couple. Like, they were with one person on book 1, and then they're with another one on book 2, which I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, it's how you've been fighting for your life. What do you mean? But yeah, in general, it's not bad. I feel like we had more of the maneuvering in the town with all the power in this book, so it made it better. But it's not a bad duology, don't get me wrong. I thought it was a very solid duology, and I will highly recommend it, honestly. If you want like something lighter but on the darker side, definitely check this one out. I also give this one 4 stars, so overall it's a 4-star duology, which is very nice. If you liked One Dark Window, you will probably like this. Even though One Dark Window had like that fantastic relationship between the monster and the main character, this one doesn't have that, but Alistair was worth it. No worries. Then I read Fathomfolk. I talked about this one on a video, and I had an arc of it. I started it and I DNF'd it. I wasn't going to go through this again. It's tagged as adult fantasy, and don't get me wrong, the world was amazing, but the characters felt extremely young. It definitely read like a YA book, and I wasn't feeling a YA book. I was not feeling it. Everyone felt like a teenager, and I just didn't like it. So I read like, I feel like it was 20% of it, and I was just like, you know what? This is not working for me. So I DNF'd it. I'm kind of proud that I went through that shit first, and then I decided to DNF this, because it's not a book that I'm going to enjoy. Even though the mythology seemed amazing. It's basically about a town where you have fish people and human people living together and trying to make arrangements. It was really cool. Everything else was not. And I decided to read like some spoilers and some spoiler reviews to see if maybe it got better, because I'm one of those readers who likes spoilers. And if I see a spoiler that is interesting enough, I will pick that book up, even though I know how it's going, you know? I don't care. If it's interesting, I'll read it. But it just went in the exactly in the direction that I thought. Direction that I thought. So yeah, I didn't I did not give it a rating. This one is just not for me. Then I read another 2 mangas. I read Gannibal Volume 11 and Gannibal Volume 12. This is about to get to an end. It has 13 volumes, and this has been a ride. I told you the last time that I thought this was getting worse with each volume. Not worse, but it wasn't as interesting at the beginning. And I still get behind that. But I do have to say that these last two volumes have been really interesting, and they gave a lot of answers. So for that alone, they are worth it. They were really cool. I gave one of these 4 and the other one 5. So yeah. Solid is basically about a cop who moves into this town, and he finds out that maybe this family here, they are cannibals. Really cool. Premise is very like unoriginal, but it's really cool, honestly. I think this will make a great movie or TV show. It has a TV show, but it's fucking awful. So another one, please. Okay, we're getting down to the last 4 books. I'm already tired of talking. So then I read The King Killing Queen. Yeah, I always mistake this title. But this is a self-pop book, and it was fine, but at the same time, I didn't click with it. I read it on its entirety, and it's basically about this woman. She used to be a... oh my god, what's the word in English? A chronicler, and she was writing down the chronicles of the king, who is really ill, and then the king dies, and she's just like, hey, you are actually my daughter, so now this kingdom is yours. And obviously the sons of the king are just like, no fucking way. So they try to get her out of the way, and the thing is, this king used to be blessed with this kind of immortality where you can only die of natural causes, and now that is wearing off and everyone is concerned. So the thing that I didn't really enjoy about this book is that it has fae, and I don't like fae. They are my least favorite creature of the entire fantasy world. I don't enjoy fae, and this has a lot of fae on it. I liked it, but it felt like an okay read. I do have to say that it ended on a pretty intriguing note, so I'll maybe pick up book 2. I don't know, maybe, who knows. But it wasn't the best. It was okay. It was a very on the middle ground. I gave it 3.5. Pretty okay, but it didn't click right with me. I don't know. And then it's just a fae. It's just a fae. I was trying to find something else, but it's just a fae. I don't like them. Then I read How to Kill Your Family because I needed something light after all this fucking fantasy of lately. And this is a mystery thriller type of book about a woman narrating how she is taking out every member of his father's family, including her father. And I really like this type of narration when a character is telling you the story, but this woman was insufferable. Which makes sense within the story, but she was fucking insufferable. Still, I actually really enjoyed it. I flew through this. I'm not going to try and spoil the plot for you, but yeah, she is just murdering people, trying not to get caught. And I actually quite enjoyed it, honestly. It doesn't have like a huge rating, but I give it 3.75 stars. It was actually really enjoyable. I needed it. I felt really identified with the main character at times. So yeah, I actually really liked it. Well, not really, but I actually quite enjoyed it. So I'm going to pass on this. I read volume 10 of Blood on the Tracks. It was great. I gave it 5 stars. Let's continue. The last book that I read was what was this? A Blade Through Time. This is a kinda little RPG. It's not on the nose as much as, oh my god, I need to power up my mana, I'm leveling up. No, but it's definitely about a character trying to get stronger. And the main plot is this guy finds out after the murder of his family that he can jump through time. Well, he can jump backwards through time, an hour to be precise. So he cannot avoid his family getting killed, but his father is just like, okay, you have this power, master it, and then you will be able to get back here and save us. So he is sent on this quest to get better, but things go very bad. Very bad along the way. I liked it. I don't get the complaints about the story being slow. I feel like it's quite different from the prologue, but at the same time makes total sense. So I don't know. I have to say that sometimes it's too fast in the sense that makes the story too forward. Instead, it needed a little bit more time to develop. That's my main complaint about it, basically. But in general, I actually really liked it. And because I'm tired of talking, I'm going to tell you that I gave this one 4 stars, and I will be doing a reading review for it. So that's it, I'm done. I've been talking for an hour now. So yeah, those are all the books I read in January. Have you read any one of these? What was your favorite book of January and the one you liked the least? Just let me know in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!